Hey students, let's talk a little bit about threads and fasteners, chapter 11. Um, the first thing I want to cover is the different thread representations that's expected in this class. You have three types. You have a simplified, you have a schematic, and you have a detailed. All right, and the book does a pretty good job at explaining the difference between uh, the thread representation and drawing them. Um, I think that's going to be on page 399 starts out with a simplified thread. Simply put, simplified is the simplest of them all to do. Basically, you have a half-inch bolt here. All right, this is the outside diameter. All right, which we are going to call the major diameter, and then you have the inside diameter. Just for purposes of this illustration, I'm going to say this is going to represent my inside, or you may hear me refer to it as my root. Now this root needs to be done in a hidden line type. So let me create a hidden real quick. How do I do it? Oop, got a space, you gotta watch it. You don't want any but one single character. Alright, we're gonna make it cyan, we're gonna call it hidden. Alright, we're gonna make this one and this one, we're going to say hidden. Alright, for some reason it did that one too, which I didn't want. Alright, so we must have a poly line here somewhere, so I'm going to explode this real quick. Alright, then offset. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to make this a hidden. Okay. This is, well, try it again. Okay, and guys, remember always center lines. Gotta have a center line for your fastener. And so this is called simplified. Alright, that's the simplified. It's the simplest of them all. Okay. Next you have the schematic type, alright, which is on page 400. With the schematic type, you're going to have to establish your pitch. Alright, and I'm going to let you guys look at page 400 to get that. And then you have the detailed, which should be on the next page on 401. So those are the three types of thread representations that you have. Now, let's talk a little bit about the call out, which is just a little prior to this. It's on page. You guys have to learn what the call out means. For instance, let's say this one is a 1/2 inch dash 10 UNC dash 2. Alright, what this means, it's a 1/2 inch, okay, in diameter, 10 threads per inch, which is how you get your pitch. And your pitch is basically, guys, the distance All right, it's the distance between these two vertexes, here to here. Okay, that's your pitch, and it explains a little bit more about it in your book. Okay, if you guys do not have the machinist book, which will tell you pretty much the comprehensive details of each one of these boats, whether it's a unified thread or a metric thread. Remember, there's two different threads. You have the unified and you have the metric. All right. In the back of the book, there's an index. I think it's on 1200, page 1200 maybe, that covers your different details, geometry for your flathead, round head, truss head. Now, of course, the truss head is not in there. I actually added an announcement for you guys on Blackboard to give you the width and the height of the truss head for, I think it was problem or handout 11-4. All right, most of the things that you're going to do in this class, okay, is going to be done in simplified and detailed. Okay, remember that. This call out 2, this is your major diameter, this is your threads per inch. UNC means your United National Course Thread, and 2 is the type of fit. If you'll look on page 403, it goes over each one of these items in your call out. Okay, a couple of quick formulas. Let's say for your hex head, if you're trying to figure out the width of the boat head across the flats, it's always 1 1/2 times the diameter. If you're trying to figure out the thickness or the height of the hex head, it's always 3/4 times the diameter. And you're trying to find out the thickness of the nut for the hex head boat, it's going to be 7/8 times the diameter. I'm going to continue to post videos trying to help you guys out through the threads. It's very important that you learn the threads, both external threads. You have external threads and internal threads. Most of the boats you're going to do are going to be machine screws, but there'll be a couple of flathead screws, wood screws. There'll be some metric and metrics to read a metric call out. Very similar to unified. It's on page 404. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, you're going to have to figure out how to do the pitch. Okay, guys, when you're doing, and the pitch is contingent to your threads per inch, and your pitch, again, is the distance between the vertex of each thread. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions. This is Mr. Johnson. Thank you.